This video is for hardware controlling computers with the DiscovIR6 fully licensed software. The DiscovIR6 companion licensed computers do not need to perform the tasks in this video as they are related to the hardware control. For those setting up a hardware controlling computer, please see the Configuring Computer for DiscovIR6 video before proceeding with this video. This video will cover the following topics in no particular order. Please note that some of the topics are very important for running the software. Some settings are for the operator's convenience, and some of this information is to help the operator understand some of the new features and differences involved with the DiscovIR6 software. Jumping right in, there are some basic differences in how DiscovIR5 and DiscovIR6 work. DiscovIR6 has changed the layout and use of the zinc solenoid disc. The disc now has the sink near the center of the disc instead of the edge. The disk layout is graphically displayed in the Toolbox tab in the default settings systems. Also, DiscovIR6 takes the spectral background at the beginning of the chromatographic run instead of as a separate step. The spectral quality is improved as the background is taken immediately before the chromatography, time between runs is reduced, and risk of contaminating clean disk area is eliminated. Another new feature in the software is the introduction of the hierarchical user level. In DiscovIR6, there are 3 user levels. The standard use level allows the operator to perform all normal running operations. This includes regular instrument validation, set up sequences, run chromatography, perform data analysis, and create reports. The next level is the expert use level. This password-enabled level allows the lab manager or authorized personnel to change validation criteria, the operating configuration, and certain default conditions. Lastly, the admin level is reserved for factory-trained service personnel. Using this password, the operator is capable of making changes to the Discover that could damage the hardware. If and when desired, the lab manager can set the preferred password for the expert user level by going into File, User Levels, User Level Access. First, click on the expert user level and enter the existing password, which is defaulted to the word expert, to raise to that user level. Then click on Set Passwords and change the expert password. When this is complete, press on the Standard Use Level Set Back button so that the operator can continue in the standard user level for the rest of the setup. The DiscovIR6 uses the same QC tests as DiscovIR5 and 6, though some names are slightly different. The IR signal is the DiscovIR6 name for the align test, and the WN wave number accuracy is the DiscovIR6 name for the polystyrene test. Another useful tool here is that each QC test can be set with a required interval of use. This means that if the noise test is set to once per week, data collection cannot be performed if the noise has not been run successfully in over a week. To set up the QC interval requirements, go to the Toolbox tab, Default Settings, QC. Here the interval can be set for each QC test. Note that the expert user level password is required in order to make these changes. Also note that DiscovIR6 uses a polystyrene standard with a digital certificate to allow the DiscovIR6 to compare the polystyrene test to the certificate for pass-fail. When DiscovIR6 is purchased, a new polystyrene will be sent as part of an included care package. Additional polystyrenes can be purchased from Spectre Analysis. Raising the user level to expert allows the operator to temporarily perform normal operation without being locked out by the QC tests. Many of the default parameters are either set in the software before downloading or are read off of the Discover hardware. One important set of numbers is the temperature control parameters. These are specific to the hardware and are automatically read and stored when the hardware is first connected to the DiscovIR6. Any system with Neo 2 boards installed after 2017 will need to be manually updated. These correct parameters will be provided at purchase by Spectre Analysis. Depending on the age of the Discover hardware being used with the new DiscovIR6 computer, a new camera assembly may be required to be purchased with the software, as older camera drivers are not available for Windows 10 computers. To check the age of the camera in the Discover hardware, attach the camera cable from the back of the hardware to a laptop running Windows 10. If the camera can be opened in a camera app, then the drivers will be fine. If the operator would like to continue using DiscovIR6 while getting used to DiscovIR6, note that the disk must be unloaded, cleaned, and reloaded with the new software each time the software is switched because of the different layout of the disk. When setting up a sample run, the DiscovIR10 disk speed should be set to 2x the DiscovIR6 disk speed to obtain comparable chromatographic resolution. See where this is used in the setup and run video. If the DiscovIR hardware is an integrated system connected to a DANI master GC, then the master GC software can be moved and loaded onto the new computer that holds DiscovIR10. To do this, go into the old computer into the file path C Data Discover Source Software. Copy the DANI Master GC Manager and move it to the new computer. From within the folder, run the .exe file as an administrator on the new computer to install it. For some users who are interested in LRI or matching retention time with other detectors like mass spec, it is useful to perform the Determine Home Offset procedure. This is an option for those who want to improve retention time reproducibly. More precise instructions on how to perform this are in the Toolbox tab video. But essentially, the user must go into the administrative level and go to Toolbox, Default Settings, Determine Home Offset. Running this program will automatically update the linear home position. To find the DiscovIR10 optics lag, either perform the program Find Deposit until the criteria are met, or for the approximate lag, take the optics lag from grams and multiply that number by 0.003 millimeters per step. The SAI libraries will be automatically downloaded, if chosen, during the install of DiscovIR10, but to move over other libraries, please see the Spectral ID library conversion video. Thank you for watching.